Praise the Lord, everybody. This is the real Ephraim, Pastor Cervante Ephraim, and you are listening and watching the Real Ephraim podcast show. I just want to clear the air because I feel like it needs to be said. So, lately, what I've been doing and what I do is, I've always done it, is I ask people to be on my podcast show. I ask people, hey man, I want you to be a guest on my podcast show. And, immediately, I get yes, I get no's, I get I don't knows. But I want to let you know that, as a man first, a man of God, and as a preacher, as a human being, as, I love to be around people. I love to hang around people. And I ask people to be on my podcast show, and I do get some negative responses. I do, but I just want to clear the air. It's not to defamate your name. It's not to mess your name and reputation up or anything like that. It is not to do none of that. It's just to, let's just talk about it. That's my whole motto. Let's just talk about it. Let's glorify God. Let's, talk about real stuff, real situations, while serving a real God. That's the whole motto. And that's, the motto that God gave me for this particular podcast. So if I ask you, say yes or no, it is not going to hurt my feelings. It is not. Believe me, because I can talk for hours and hours and hours and hours. But in all seriousness, God leads me to people, and I say, what, man, you should be on my podcast show. And, yay or nay, it doesn't hurt my feelings. It's just that, let's just talk about it. Let's just be real. Let's just talk about it. We can talk about the Lord. We can do it all, but it's all doing it to the glory of God. It's a very safe space, so you don't have to worry about, defamation of name or none of that stuff. Because I was reading on the internet, and the internet said that the reason why people don't, want to be on a podcast show because they feel like either it's a waste of time, they figure that it's a defamation of character, or it's just not, is something that's irrelevant, and that's fine, But I'm like, okay, fine. But in all sense, God still gets the glory out of everything that I do. God still gets the glory out of everything. Y'all stay blessed. If I ask you, be on a podcast show, yes or no, it don't matter. Yes or no, it don't hurt me. But like I said, it must be something because I want you on a podcast show. Let's talk about it. But, in all sense, like I said, I just thank God, that he's given me this platform. He's given me this mic, and to talk about real stuff, and God is real. So that's what I have to say. Like I said, it's just, like right now, I want somebody, let's talk about it, and it'd be hard to find people because, like I said, everybody has their little stigmas or their little whatever is about podcasting and talking and voices and stuff. But it's okay. I thank God for you. But in all sense, y'all stay blessed. Y'all stay blessed. Y'all stay blessed. Again, this is the Real Ephraim podcast show, dealing with real people, with real situations while serving a real God. And I thank y'all again for tuning in to this little video. Just wanted to clarify the air, clear the air of the pollution. Like I said, it's not to defamate nobody's name, or not to make nobody, none of that. It's all to the glory of God. So thank y'all again. Thank you for listening. This is Pastor Cervante Ephraim signing out.